Bubble will auto-save everything you do. You can see up here where it says saved like that. There is no save button for me to press anytime I make a change. So if I wanted to move this text down to this position, you can see how it changed real quick. I'm going to do it again. If you watch this up here, it'll say saving briefly, and then it'll change to saved. I'm going to move it one more time. Like that, very quick. So everything is auto-save. If you are doing something that's a little more intensive, it's possible that this will turn red and get stuck on saving for a few more moments. I would recommend that you keep an eye on it. Do not refresh your editor. Be patient with that and give it a little bit more time. Eventually, it should finish that saving process, because if you do refresh the page, then you could lose some work. Now, in rare occasions, it will get stuck there and it won't actually finish saving, so you will be forced to refresh the editor. But again, that's a very rare occasion. Just don't be alarmed when it does go red. It's just taking a little bit longer to think through everything that you've done. You will start to see that a little bit more and more. The bigger your page gets, the more you have going on here, the more there will be for Bubble to think through. So just be aware of that. Now, when you are editing anything, designing, building anything in your application, Bubble is actually keeping track of all of your changes, which allows you to undo things. So up here, I have an undo and a redo button. So if I click undo, it moved it back down to where it was before, and I can redo to move it back up. Now, this is something that will affect the performance of your editor. This is not going to affect the performance of the front end page that your users will experience, but your editor could be impacted here. If you have your editor open all day long, let's say 6-7 hours it's been open and you've been working on it for a few of those hours, Bubble is, remembering all of those things that could get really intensive on your browser's memory. So it's a really good idea to refresh your editor every once in a while. I like to refresh about every hour or so. That's usually the point where I start to see a difference in lag. It starts to lag a little bit. And if your application's a lot bigger, if you have a lot more going on and it's been built out, there's a lot of elements happening here, you might need to do that a little bit more frequently. Okay, now with that said, if you refresh your editor, you will not have any of those undos from before you refresh. Those will all be lost. So the number of undos only goes back until the session that you've been in before you refreshed. Along those same lines, if you were to open up your version control window here, right there, and you go to the very bottom of this window, Bubble will actually show you a list of all of the changes that you have made within the session. Again, if you refresh, then this will be empty. There won't be anything here. This is a good way to see what you've changed, but more importantly, this is a kind of a shortcut to publish individual changes only. Normally, when you publish your application, you're publishing everything, all of the pages, it's all getting published together. But this is kind of a shortcut to only publish one thing. And I will talk more about this when we go through deployment and version control and publishing your application. But it's something I wanted to point out because it is something that happens as a part of this autosave feature and the undos.